As a person that works a 9 to 5 currently, I don't personally think that there's anything wrong with a hard day's work and going to work for someone else. I know that's going to be shocking for people given that in the next few years, if I play my cards right and increase my retirement savings, that I would prefer to bow out of my 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with rolling your sleeves up, going to work, working a hard day's work, and coming home. Some people get a sense of pride in their jobs outside of their homes, or if they work from home, their job from home. Some people who work a 9 to 5 just love what they do. I actually love my job. Other aspects of it I don't like, and we don't need to go into that because I've said it in previous videos. But I love the job itself because it's very challenging. You have to think about a lot of things. So I like that. But it goes both ways, right? Some people are just not cut out for 9 to 5s. And because they're not cut out for 9 to 5s, they're going to work hard and do anything to get out of it. This is what we call influencers, entrepreneurs, because now it's cool to be an entrepreneur. When I was coming up in the 1990s, to struggle on purpose and not go work for somebody got you to side eye. Now you can go do these things without impunity and you will get a lot more encouragement. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Let's have an honest conversation about what happens with influencing. To be an influencer, even if you keep a 9 to 5, whether you do or don't, is hard work. You have to work harder because your name is being physically attached. So initially, because of startup costs, you're going to always have to buy things little by little. If you're flying out for modeling gigs, you may not be able to take that gig, for example, because of the high cost of hotels. And in this article I read, some people admitted they were faking it until they made it with holding bags and pretending to be something they're not in the balancing act. I'm not here to tell you not to be an influencer. I am going to tell you to accept sacrifice, because there are people who are going to be influencers who literally just think they're too good to get a job. And they fail to understand that influencing in and of itself is a full-time job. And it's not that you cannot be successful with the way the software is made. Now, even a person like myself that made this video is not really an expert on video making and still learning the ropes, as you can see by how the article was overlaid in this video. Have a lot of learning to do. There's a learning curve. It's always there, always lingering. I could look at influencers and tell by the amount of work they put that sometimes something simple as a 20-minute video could take hours to make, because you gotta sit and script the video. You'll hear my husband in the background because he's starting his motorcycle. And in addition to that, you got to take other things into account. That's my bad, y'all. He did tell me he was going to start that motorcycle. I just failed to close the patio door because I know Sugar will have her fit about it. So I know I can't make this recording too long, so I got to get through it. The most important aspect of life, the one thing we can never get back, whether you work a 9 to 5 or you're an influencer, is time management. And this is tricky when you go into influencing world and you have to keep your own schedules and do things that were normally done for you. Not to say that there's not an independence associated with that. But 57% of Gen Zers saying that they want to be influencers means that the 9 to 5 need to understand why that's happening. And look, I'm not telling any employer to change anything. But for the middle ground, young people also have to know that when you're under the age of 30 years old, this is your time to grind, rise and grind. And I'm not saying work yourself to the bone. I'm not saying always lose sleep. I'm not saying to do things that are irresponsible. If influencing is no different than your old time entrepreneurship, you still got to learn how to use processes. Are you going to buy software to keep up with your time, or are you going to use the pre-made calendars and Microsoft Word? You have to consider a lot of things. This is why when people make YouTube videos and they automatically jump to, I quit my 9 to 5, I can't take you seriously. Aaron Knightley is the exception to this rule because he was already building something behind the scenes, which segues to my last point, the loss of sleep. When you're building something in private, you're going to lose sleep. This is something you're going to have to learn to accept, that building means you're going to lose things. People want to be influencers often because of the naivete of how it looks. I get to hang with whoever I want to. I get to be friends with whoever I want. Not in the first 1 to 3 years, and 5 years if you're very unlucky. Which I don't believe in luck, but you get what I'm saying. Any ideal that half of these people aren't acting fake is naive. Okay, you can go back and read the article. And any ideal that this is going to happen fast, very few people, based on their charismatic personality, will move like that. Will be sitting 1 year broke and the next minute they're on top of the world. And even then, once that person makes it to the top, far as their influence is concerned, they got a good 2 to 5 years in them. If they go past 10, they should count themselves unicorns. Nothing on this earth is permanent. It's okay that some of y'all still work a 9 to 5. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. It's good to pull up your sleeves, go do a hard day's work. You can get some networking out of that. But if you want to influence, my advice to you is write out what your plan is going to be before you take that leap. Because that leap is a much more, or entails much more responsibility than you thought.